We are continuing our series on workers' compensation with Catherine Stone of Barbas Law. Today we're talking statute of limitations. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
So let's dive right in. There's some things that people need to know about this.
Exactly. So you have a certain time frame within which to keep your case open.
Okay.
Cases can last for years and years and years.
Well, one of the first things before we were diving into this, I said, do people often maybe a year or 2 years go by and they go, wait a minute, I may be eligible for workers' compensation. Maybe they don't realize it at the time?
They may not realize it at the time, or their condition may not have realized that it was work related. That's a little bit different in the sense of if you have 30 days to report the accident.
Okay.
I'm more talking about you have an open case, you've already received some medical treatment, you've already received some work comp benefits, and what happens is if employer carrier is not providing treatment or not providing a benefit, we lawyers file what's called a petition for benefits with the offices of the judges of compensation claims. So you have, let's say you've never gotten any treatment, or you have a case, like you filed a report of injury, but you just never got anything. I only have 2 years from the date of the accident to file that petition to keep your case open.
And that's very important, because you say once they are closed,
once it's closed,
there's no appeal, there's no
way for me to get it open again. Now there's some ways that I can challenge it on certain situations, but for the most part, you need to know you got 2 years from the date of the accident for me to be able to file a petition for benefits. Or you have 1 year from the date of last benefit received. So either the date of last compensation check or the date you last saw a doctor. So to keep that statute of limitations open, if you're after that 2 year mark, then you've got to see a doctor or get some benefit within a year.
See, and this is what is so interesting to me, is how do people know this? If they're not calling, somebody who knows
there
the rules.
is a initial packet that every work comp claimant gets that's mandated by the state of Florida, and it has this little blurb in there.
The tiny fine print.
If you're like me, mail comes in and I open it and it's in the trash can faster than anything, unless it's a bill. But
they wait and they procrastinate
and
reading the
so
whole
they don't
thing,
read those things, or 2 years after the fact they don't remember that they read that initial intake packet that's sent. But that's the only requirement the insurance company has to do, is they only have to send that in the very beginning of the case, and then they don't have to continue to remind you to go see the doctor, remind you to seek benefits.
So what is your reminder as we kind of wrap up here? A little less than a minute left. What do you want people to know, especially when something like this first happens?
Well, when it first happens, again, I think you're overwhelmed, and when you start getting a lot of paperwork from the insurance companies, it's probably a good idea to go ahead and sit down with someone in our office, call our office, and just ask general questions about what should I do. There's a lot of forms in those initial packets that they want signatures for, and a lot of times people don't understand what they're signing.
No.
And so again, if your case has been open for a while and you're not sure what's going on with your case, you haven't seen a doctor, you haven't haven't gotten a check from work comp, you need to call. And we need to sit down,
give yourself a to-do list
and figure out what's going on with your case.
And again, you want a good team by your side. Again, thank you so much for being here. We look forward to having you on the show every week. If you have any questions, again, we didn't even dive into to what we could, but there's the number right there, 1-800-BARBAS-LAW, or certainly go to barbaslaw.com/know your rights.